Hey, hello, folks. Mal, you're a little short there.
I'm stubby.
There we go. That's
fell down.
You gotta just tug it a little bit, and then
It just needed a little bit of teasing.
Yeah.
Out.
There you go.
Its size doesn't matter, so stubby daggers are as good as long, girthy daggers.
Yeah, but it was almost like it had a giant hole in the tip. It was like that would be like there's a lot that can go into that hole if you were into that sort of thing.
Yeah, fair. Hi everybody, welcome to Three Thought Talk.
Hey,
we talk about stubby stabbers. I feel like it's been a hot minute since I was here. We've never been here last week, but I feel like I haven't been here for like a month or something.
Yeah, what you been doing, Rob?
I moved holds. As you can see, it's still under construction. So my new fancy hold is not ready yet.
It's weird that you live in a construction site. That's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like to be a strange Wetlander.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I need one that's like fucking maidens.
That's never going to be hand talk they're ever going to develop. So you're just
Wetlanders.
Oh god. Yeah, Dash is already dying. Brian's like, who is this bloke? Don't remember him. Yeah, I know. It's been a while. So, and Kev's like, oh man, it's so good to hear Mel's voice again. Yeah.
That was probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
That was so much fun. Folks, if you're not aware, last Sunday, Kev and I held our second KCI stream, which is our Glory to the Stars streams. Every month we pick a different character from the show and we play all of their scenes from season 2. And we have wonderful guests on and we talk about, our thoughts of the scenes and what they're up to. And, sometimes some tangential conversations. Basically, everyone needs therapy. But
true,
Mel,
so true.
Yeah. When we did the Kira Company stream for Elaine last month in January, Mel turned up as what were you in January, Mel?
Melindhra Malkier.
Melindhra Malkier, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And was a member of the a member of the royal court.
Tiara, big wine glass and all.
Yeah. It was beautiful. I was highly impressed. And then this month, for LAN, Mel came as a Malkieri, a member a member of the nation there, and spoke in Malkieri all episode or for over the hour that she was on screen, and I had to translate everything she was saying for people. It was
Malkier is very complex and nuanced language.
Yes. When this lady said it was epic and you captured LAN's sword to perfection. Yeah, folks, she had like a sword. There was like a goatee on the go. It was highly impressive. Really, I appreciate that so much. Next month we're doing Perry. I say next month. For me, technically, it's this month now. For all of you, it's almost there.
Have you flipped your calendar?
My calendar has not been flipped, but it's downstairs on the fridge. So, however, roofmistress Leigh-A does have a calendar.
Hello, me. Hello, my man.
And it's actually saying happy last day for Melindhra snack month.
Yeah, we got one extra day.
Exactly.
Are we ready for this? Yeah, all right.
I'm really excited about the next month.
All right,
everybody remember who marches?
Here we go. Who's March, everybody?
There he is. Oh, look at that beautiful dog.
And Sir Ferdinand.
Yeah, it's Dr. Livingston and King Ferdinand recreating that great scene. My favorite thing about that picture, and I've said it multiple times, and I'll keep saying it, is that it's like Michael got the pose, but then Ferdinand's doing the look.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It was a good team up.
Yeah. It works so well. I think this is the one that made me laugh the most when I saw it. Not that you should be laughing at any of them. They're all meant to be, sort of serious.
They're all
recreation.
serious. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? You're not supposed to laugh at the fact that my husband is wearing a Daenerys Targaryen wig.
I did chuckle at that. I just laughed
mean,
that there were a few wigs in this month. It was very impressive.
the amount of attention to detail in the most ridiculous way was purposeful and meant to elucidate laugh. So if you didn't laugh, then we failed in our job.
Oh no, I definitely had a chuckle. I'm sure folks who saw the calendar had a chuckle. So yeah, it's already been a highlight to have those calendars around and on the walls and stuff. So yeah.
I had a neighbor. Go ahead, Leigh-A. I was gonna say I had a neighbor over just an hour ago, and she was in my kitchen, and she's like, "What?" She's like, "What is happening on your calendar?" And I'm like, "This is what We Live Time calendars look like. Didn't you order one?" Because she watched the whole show. And she was like, I was not aware that was a scene in season 2.
And then did you explain everything else behind it?
No, I was like, okay, I gotta go because I have to go do a show. And she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, my Wheel of Time show. And she's like, God, you're such a mess. Just like, get out of my house. I gotta go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, Kev, by the way, is workshopping wolf-based Mel puns for March and is taking suggestions. So far, all he's got is Mel, the golden-eyed stone dog.
It's pretty good, Kevin.
Yeah. It's not too shabby, not too shabby.
I'm going to have to figure it out. I got to think on it, too.
I love that. All right. What have you two been up to? Because we all took a week off last week.
What have I been up to?
Just
Slowly
catching
dying.
up on life.
Slowly
Yeah.
dying.
Feel like I always overcommit to doing way too many things, and right now I'm in the midst of like all of these things are all important all at once, and I'm just like, can I just go to bed? I just want to go to sleep. That's all I want to do. Can I just like lay in bed for several hours, please, and not do anything?
I get that for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you got time to relax and enjoy yourself, hopefully. Because that's important. So, all right. Shall we do? There's a little bit of last minute Daily Veil. Shall we throw that out there? Let folks
Yeah.
enjoy. Yeah. All right.
Beck, yes.
Beck, yes. Woohoo! Nicely done.
Brothers and sisters,
it is time to cover up your face.
For the Wheel of Time has news, and we shall dance the spears with it.
This is the Daily Veil.
All right. Oh shit! Daily Veil music. There we go.
It's been a while for you.
It has. I'm a little out of practice.
How do we do this?
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, folks. As Mel said, let's let's get on the Daily Veil. Let's kick it off with. So if you're well aware, then you're keeping up. But if you're not, let's just cover you there. Firstly, Guy Roberts was announced as coming to MalkieriCon in Prague in September. Pretty incredible. Then that was I feel like that was a Friday that was announced, or a Thursday or something, and then like the Monday afterwards it was announced that he's going to WatCon in Columbus in July. Well, we found out just very, very recently, as in like a couple hours ago, that he is now also going to JordanCon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, folks, this was posted literally 2 hours ago. He is now heading off to Prague, to Atlanta to join us in April. I don't know how much time. I'm not sure he's ready. It's either 800,000 people there. A lot of them are going to be interested to see him. I'm not sure he's quite ready for that. It's like he's starting at the top end of let's go to 1,000 people convention, and then we'll break it down to a few hundred Fort Con, and then and then we'll have the cozy intimate one at home in Prague. So, but yeah, this is really exciting.
Seasoned in the Wheel of Time fandom by then. Not that he's not already, but he'll have lots of practice for MalkieriCon.
This is true. And for folks who are everyone will know everything by the time he gets to MalkieriCon, and because everyone will ask him all the questions under the sun and seen him and blah 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 blah. Guy assures me he has special treats saved for Prague.
Of course he does. He also seems like the kind of guy who just really wants to do this, right?
Oh yeah.
So he wants to get as much as he can.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
Get a chance to 'cause he's pretty nerdy like the rest of us. So
yeah,
I think it would be good.
He is desperate. He's been desperate to come to conventions for years. It's
Man,
something he's wanted to do.
That's got to be so hard to really want to do it and then just not be allowed to. So, do you guys think that a character is gonna have to die? Before we can get the next one, they have to only be dead characters. Could we have had Dana at the cons, for the last 2 years and just utterly failed to bring her?
Maybe.
We could have had her.
Question. That is an excellent question.
Hey, Rob, what you doing? Why are you so thirsty? Yeah. Speaking of people we want at cons, somebody followed you on Instagram.
No, don't make me mute you. No.
Somebody followed Rob MalkierTalks on Instagram, and I don't know why he's acting so cute and shy, because he's the one who shared it in the Foley channel.
No, but we're going to throw it
because he was so
you.
excited.
I was excited. It was really nice. But,
yeah, guys, our very own Tigraine Mantier, Magdalena Satovia, follows Rob.
Yeah, not just that. He made a comment about how lovely it was to meet him.
Yeah.
And
made him a post.
Follow.
Yeah, that one. That was. Yeah,
made him a post.
Yeah, she put it. No, it was an Instagram story. It wasn't.
Well, whatever. I don't know how Instagram works, but she said she added you in public.
Yeah. Okay.
And she said how nice it was to meet you. Yeah. So, does she count?
Does she count as a dead
That's
person?
a really good question. We should investigate that theory. Does she count as a dead person who can come to a con? I would also like to advocate for Dana.
You would.
She's amazing.
No, actually, no. I have evidence that they don't have to be dead in order to go to a convention.
Okay, what evidence is that?
Because it comes down to a scheduling thing, which is why I've not said anything. But there is someone that I've had approval to come to MalkieriCon who is a character in the show and is not dead.
Okay.
But there's scheduling things around it. So,
or maybe they are, and we just don't know it yet.
Oh no, they're alive.
And we could also conversely.
Oh, you mean maybe they die in season 3? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And conversely, we could verify that characters are dead by inviting them to cons, like Suroth. Is Suroth dead? Let's invite her to a con and find out.
Yeah. Wait. I should invite Agomar to MalkieriCon then.
You should invite Agamar. Exactly.
Ooh.
And then we can figure out if people are dead or not.
So, folks, make sure you put in the comments who you think is dead in the show, and Rob will invite them to MalkieriCon.
Jeez,
I'll just send a list. We want this list of people.
I don't have that big a budget for inviting people. I have to pay for them, you know.
We'll pay for them.
It'll be like
it is.
The bad host is like, I invited you, but now I'm uninviting you.
Oh,
I didn't really want to. I just wanted to see if they would let you.
I think that's what you should name, like the MalkieriCon, like autograph session area. People who died in Wheel of Time, come get their autographs. What is it? The Dead Zone. We call it the Dead Zone. It could be called Shaitan's Finest. It could.
Nice, yeah, that would be hilarious. Kev says, if this is the way you find out Maxim does die in season 3, then so be it. All right, I will put Taylor Napier on the invites for 2025. How's that?
We'll find out. We'll find out.
No, because season 3 will be out by the time 25 convention is done. So, I know for a fact.
Are you manifesting that, or do you know?
Manifesting.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I was like, I do not know when this season 3 is out. So, yeah, sorry to spoil your fun there, folks. But yeah, as Window Lady is pointing out, Magdalena is in Cape Town right now. But I think that's because it was on her Instagram page, which it says from Cape Town where she got engaged. So congratulations, Magdalena.
Yeah.
That was a super cute post as well. Like of her and her fiance, future husband. That was like all different things where they've been like, clearly he's a stunt guy as well, because there was a picture of the two of them in, costume and looked like they've been, in some sort of fight scene or something of that nature. So it was very, very sweet.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Congrats to her.
Yes. Was there any other daily there? I think that was it.
The Grinwell Cup got announced.
Oh, yes. The Grinwell Cup is starting, folks. So 1 second. Let's go chase down that.
Sorry, I probably should have sent you that link.
For those of you who are unaware and have lived under a rock or are new to the land of the Grinwell Cup, what?
Those are basically the only two options for not knowing.
That's it. Those are two. Will Takes every year does this epic competition to define in finality, never to be figured out again except for the next year. Who is the hottest Wheel of Time character? And hotness is defined by yourself. You decide.
Yeah. So I actually read through this. I didn't realize a couple of things. So a couple of rules of the bracket. So it's like March Madness style, as it says here. But the hottest character, like whoever wins each year, it then becomes ineligible for future years. So Avienda won in 21, Brigitte won in 22, and Berylay won last year, which means they will not be in the brackets. So when this is like 10 years down the line, there's going to be 10 hot characters no longer in the brackets. So this is actually really, really fun. And as it says,
I might actually win then.
Hottest can mean anything you want it to, whether you find them to be attractive or you wanting to set them on fire the most. The vote is very much up to you. Just a reminder, folks, it's it has nothing to do with the TV show. Okay, so we know the cast, as it says, we know the cast is gorgeous, but we don't want it to, break down into, some sort of sexual harassment or picking apart real people's appearances. So it's literally just book stuff. But yeah, this is always a lot of fun. Will there be live streams each week to talk about what's been happening? Ali and Gus are probably not too sure right now, because unfortunately their studio has has decided to grow fungus and is got mold in it, and they are currently deconstructing their studio so it can be rebuilt. So it's
Gross.
a bit of chaos for them. So I asked, and they were like, live streaming might not be, might not be a thing this year potentially. But they're going to try and work it out. So yeah, as Kev says, the rule is don't be weird.
Yeah. The rule is don't be weird.
Don't be like the odd, the uncomfortable kind of weird around people, like people's
Yes.
experiences.
But you can vehemently defend the hotness and your hotness quantifiers. But don't yuck somebody else's yum.
Respectful, yeah. So if Mel and I disagree on whatever the two people in the bracket are, we will be like, okay, that's funny, but here's why I think my character's the better one. I wouldn't say negative things about her opinions about.
I mean, 7 follower. Right.
I mean,
right, you guys.
Yeah. Totally. I mean, he's very smart, so
just really into sinew. Just
I would
love it.
pick him over
I want to pluck him like a harp string.
Oh boy.
I'm just providing examples so that nobody feels weird about the things that they find hot.
You want to pluck him like
because he's all sinew. I just imagine, he would be very taut.
All right, ladies.
Should I do standing affirmations to cleanse ourselves from that a little bit?
Breaking news, folks.
I think we have had the closest thing we can get to a request for a cleanser. I mean, there was a request for a rock under which is Dash.
You say that.
That is shaped in the shape of a butt. So,
well, breaking news, folks, which I've now said 3 times. I think you just ignored the first 2. But I have breaking news.
Okay,
so contain yourselves. This comes from Dash, so it's funny you should bring up Dash's comment. But Dash has been on some adventures the last few weeks. And Dash came across this.
Nice.
Oh, look at all those butts.
All those butts.
Wow, that's a lot of butts in one rock.
That is a lot of butts.
I like lots of butts, and I cannot lie.
Wow, I mean that one, that middle one had a whole anus on it. That's pretty impressive.
So,
can we pull that up? I think we need to analyze slightly a little bit more. Yeah, wow.
That's some thigh gap right there.
I'm pretty sure we're missing. We're getting the wrong angle of the one in the top right corner. We really need a drone view of that because that's a downward dog butt.
Yeah,
I agree. Holy shit, that's a 5 piece of asphalt. Wowza. Amazing.
Hey, did you guys know that it's leap day and you're supposed to, according to the Aiel tradition, leap really high when you tell a terrible joke? So I expect more of these impressive puns from all of you foldies for the rest of the day.
So yeah, I think that is actually all of the all of the news. So here's your palate cleanser in the form of
butt rock.
Yeah, it's a little anticlimactic after Dash just went in and
I mean, it's just one. Well, I guess there's 2 there, but
I didn't know there was a butt rock convention, and I'm very upset that I wasn't invited.
That's fair. Yeah.
Stabby affirmations?
Yes, please.
I don't fuck with small minds.
Ooh.
Love it.
That's good.
All right.
All right. So
can I admit a personal thing that I find is I can kind of consider a flaw, but it's one of those flaws that I'm also not gonna let go of because I'm kind of proud of it. And that's like I really struggle with stupid people.
Yeah.
Like I get angry that people that stupid exist in the world. And I don't know how to relate. So it is a flaw, I admit. I struggle
That's fair.
to stay polite.
Well,
Nothing wrong with that.
you just have to try and figure out how to say goodbye to them, much like we're about to say goodbye to Twitter.
Did you just call all of Twitter
Wow.
I mean, Twitter itself is stupid.
stupid? It is pretty stupid right
Yeah,
now.
Elon Musk is
Sorry.
Yeah.
so,
Ru-
Twitter of
Run by
time
someone who's very
made-
stupid. So yeah.
Twitter of
So if
time
you
is
are watching
amazing.
on, yeah, Wheel of Time is great, and if you are watching, that means you're great. So you should come watch us on YouTube. But Twitter, this is the only sneak peek you get. So goodbye. And now it's just YouTube. So I love this peaches.
Peaches, 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 peaches. You have to sing it to the right song tune.
Sorry.
I was thinking millions of peaches. Peaches for me. Millions of
You just called
peaches.
Kevin stupid.
Oh, Kev. Yeah. let's talk costumes, because while we were taking a week off, Sharon has been going nutty with all the posting and chaotic, and we're loving it. So, Leigh-A, you are our costuming expert.
Sure.
You
it away.
are.
You are. will not
You
hear it.
are some
Costume.
fire. A costuming desire.
There we go.
Leigh-A, 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 Leigh-A. Tell us what Sharon told us this week.
Well, it has been several weeks. The last time we were on, we watched the video about the Avienda costume, which literally they took the costume all the way down to the bottom layer, which was the jumpsuit, which was amazing.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Do we get to watch that again? Or are we talking about something else?
We're talking. We don't have time. We don't have
Damn
time for that tonight. Sorry.
Oh,
You can watch it.
That's
You can go back
frustrating.
and
I
catch
can
the
I
last
can drool
2
over Avi costume in my own time.
Yes, but there are so many other drool-worthy costumes. So we are going to start with what Rob put as the headliner for this week's graphics. The heroes of the horn.
Not that one?
Nope. Go scroll all the way up to the top of the spreadsheet.
I didn't go to this time. Fail, utter
Oh,
fail.
dear.
Wait, YouTube video. Wait a minute.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the heroes of the horn first. And I want to start with a primer because a lot of what Sharon posted was the costumes of some of the more minor characters getting their VFX photos taken. So I wanted to, and some of the teams who did the VFX for season 2 put together this great video. We didn't actually watch it because on Threefold Talk because Rob had wanted to do a live reaction to it. So I
Oh,
figured
and I
now
never
is the
did. Yeah,
no!
we should watch that. No, put it on. It's fine. I totally meant to do that and never got around to it. There's I had so much on with work and then the move, and it was obviously Christmas and so on and so forth that so many things just got pushed back. Yeah, I'm feeling in a much better place these days. So maybe when I say I'm going to do reaction to something, I might actually do it because I'm feeling more, more into doing those things. But yeah, if you pull it up, we'll definitely watch that.
This?
Yes. And
Are you-
go ahead and press play.
Push play.
There's no actual audio to this. It's a whole bunch of comparative scenes of there's previs, it's shows a little bit of the process, which just trying to do some basic research. There's so many different types of visual effects. So there's special effects, which are more practical. It's basically like costuming it. In Harry Potter, when the doors open, those are actual practical effects. I think Star Wars was one of the original producers of practical effects. But then there's the visual effects, which are layered on top of acting. So in Heroes of the Horn, that's where a lot of visual effects come in. And then the next type of effects are CGI, so computer generated images, which are basically just, if you think of the Jungle Book that Disney made, that was complete computer generated special effects. And so you could always debate what the difference between visual effects and CGI. But in the Heroes of the Horn, what they did was, and here we go, looking at some of the previs work.
That looks so weird.
Yeah,
Wow.
so that was a previs of, so previs is a pre-visualization, which is basically like a really rudimentary cartoon that's created that shows some of the stop capture motion, but it helps with placing where you want the cameras to go, where you want the people to physically go. And it's very important. It's not just for special effects, but they do think previs for things like fight scenes. And so what we just saw was a previs for the Heroes of the Horn compared to what the final product was. And what Sharon posts in her Instagram is the people had to go and basically get like these 3D pictures taken of them to help create some of those graphics.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So to help the people who go in post-production and create those beautiful effects of the clouds swirling, and then as they're moving, kind of that what we think of like that blurred vision. You know, if somebody moves too fast, you think of it as a blurred vision. So that type of effect. And so they had to get in full costume and full makeup. So the first picture is of Amaterasu, and it was so we're going to do Amaterasu and then Hawking, and those she actually did give us a little bit more details on those costumes. There's a lot of hand painting involved in both of these costumes. So Amaterasu, i.e. the Mulan of the Heroes of the Horn. I saw a lot of that. I was like, oh, that's the Mulan character.
Yeah.
But yeah, there wasn't a lot of details that she provided in her descriptions. And I think like Sharon probably just got overwhelmed with the like providing all the extra details like she did for some of the characters. But we do get the concept drawing and then the actress posing for us, which is wonderful. And it's such a gorgeous costume. I love all the coloring, the structure. It's obviously very Imperial Chinese based. So going back to a little bit of the Sean Chan allusions for some of the context. So Mel, Rob, did you have any thoughts on this costume?
My thought is like seeing it in stills. I feel like it doesn't look like what I remember it looking like in the show. Like it's so much more colorful than I feel like it looked like in the show. Maybe that was like the like mist effect, kind of like blurring it all out.
I'm gonna hunt that down, but yeah, I agree. It doesn't look that bright in the show, I suppose.
Yeah. And they're in like broad daylight. So I think that's really interesting that they like muted it almost in post because it's incredibly vibrant.
Yeah. I love the wings here. Like on the shoulders, like that feels, very Borderlandy.
And do you think those are feathers under there? Are they
No,
evoking
they're
that?
ruffles.
They're just ruffles?
Maybe.
Hold on. Let me zoom in a little. Actually, it's hard to tell.
It is.
They look more like petals, like rough
a
petals.
little bit. I really like the line of the like the opening and the undershirt underneath it. There's just something really like pleasing about that.
Yeah.
The shape that they make there.
Mm-hmm. And it almost looked like it's a combination of practical armor with decorative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I've got like here's a frozen still from the episode. So yeah, it doesn't look at that. That looks definitely darker.
I wonder if that's just the lighting, like the lighting being kind of almost directly on top of her.
Yeah, because it's from the back. She's lit from behind. But yeah.
Yeah, it's very possible.
That's really interesting. How like your mind plays tricks.
Yeah.
You can just barely see it. She's got these like kind of sparkly purple shoes on down here.
Mm-hmm. And I love the concept art, how wistful it is. And they were able to translate all of those colors. Like it's almost like a mirage, like a oh god, what's the dresses that Grendel likes to wear? The scythe dresses?
Strife,
yeah, the strife dresses.
So yeah, Dana's saying there, Amarisu is the one hero costume that made an instant and lasting impression on me.
Yeah. I completely agree. She was clearly featured, right? Besides Hawking, right? She was clearly
the horn.
Yeah. This concept art is awesome.
Yeah, and here's a really fun thing for me that's just occurred in this moment, thinking about the colors of her outfit and how vibrant it is. When, obviously spoilers for episode 8 here, folks, which I kind of already put on screen. When Uno appears as a hero of the Horn, Uno appears exactly as a hero the way he was in the show that we knew him.
Yeah.
Which says to me, Amarisu, when she was first alive and before she became a hero of the Horn, went into battle dressed like this.
Yeah, I also really like the fact that this might be yet another like romper undersuit, just like Avienda's thing, because they repeat this neck motif stayed really close, right? It's where's that picture? Yeah, like her under thing, and you could see the sleeves. Like she's wearing it. She's wearing the whole romper.
I mean, maybe that's the key to Sharon's success. Everyone's secretly wearing a romper.
Maybe so.
Well, even
rompers for everybody.
Season 1, their women prolifically wore pants of some sort in practical circumstances, which is something that I really appreciate about the Wheel of Time. That it's women aren't going into battle in dresses. Like that doesn't fucking make sense. Like, it doesn't happen. Like it's not something women would do. In like any woman in any period of history who went into battle didn't go in dresses. It was split pants, maybe, or split skirts.
Yeah, divided skirts for sure.
So, but getting out of the fantasy idea that women always wear dresses, like fuck that. So yeah, you can see here that she has this pants romper thing on underneath.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that as well.
There it is. It's shining on her leggies
and look how
and her sparkle boots. I love it. We finally get some boot action. Amazing.
Someone needs to. Oh my god. Wait. Someone needs to do the parody of Purple Rain, but purple boots, and make the whole song about Amarisu.
Love it.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Love it.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Goldies, you got homework.
Who's next?
Yep.
Yeah, so we could spend forever. So I am going to push us on to oh my
This
god, I was
one?
going to say Adelmar. Yes. Thank you. Arthur Hawkwing. So she also did a fairly long description of Arthur Hawkwing's costume and talking about how and it just shows how much the costume team got involved with the creators and about how Hawking is a lot of people's favorite hero of the Horn and that this costume would be very important. So the costume team really wanted to make sure to pay homage to him. It's all the red parts are hand painted with gold. And yeah, on the skirt. They call it a skirt. So Hawking officially is wearing a skirt, y'all.
Love it.
I love the I forget what the leg braces are called. I feel like they have a specific name.
Greaves.
The greaves, thank you.
Mhm.
They look like they've got like very stylized hawks or some sort of birded animal, winged animal. Sorry, not birded animal, winged animal, like going up.
Mhm.
Yeah, or there's a style of design that gives that impression at least.
Do we get some close-up boot action here? Oh, there's some.
Yeah, you
Concept
get some more
art.
concept.
Yeah,
art.
there's like wings on every part of the armor.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
feathery, wingy craziness.
Very flocculent.
Mhm.
Is that a
I'm glad you
word?
know that.
It is actually a word, yes.
I've never heard that.
I
before.
I learned that by watching the movie Morning Glory because the
Flocculent.
Harrison Ford's character doesn't want to say the word fluffy.
Okay.
They were
Okay.
looking for synonyms, and flocculent was one of them. I'm like, that's a great word. I'm going to use it whether it's appropriate or not. So I've been waiting for that for a decade.
So I feel like I remember that Arthur Hawkwing in the show was not like cast to be Arthur Hawkwing. He was just an extra that got put in the costume. Am I misremembering that? That like he might not necessarily be Arthur Hawkwing if there's Arthur Hawkwing flashbacks in the future, or that sort
I'm
of
not
thing.
sure about that. He was played by Adrian Boucher, I believe, when he was announced as the cast from What Series Finance for Us. I remember we gushed over him. In fact, I was deleting some files from my computer, I think about 6 weeks ago, and I remember coming across some old pictures I've loaded up for different things that we've done on the show. And one of them was the the images of Adrian Boucher, and we were all just like, "Oh my god, this guy's cut."
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
And he
right.
is-
And they covered him all up in metal? Why? Why would they do that?
I don't know. But yeah, he is credited in the X-rays as playing the parts.
Yes.
Screaming Spud Monkey said he thinks that was Brigitte. Where they just
Oh, yes. Thank you. Yes, that's who I was thinking of. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
really-
the detailing on the back of this.
Can I just really comment about the fact that he's doing like the female superhero but look over the shoulder pose?
Yes. You gotta get the line. All the
He's
lines.
doing the butt look over the shoulder pose that they make every women superhero have to do for any
Yeah.
promo picture ever.
Amazing. That is
And
so
he's
true.
slaying. You're slaying.
He is, yeah.
And
Kev's right.
Didn't even do that.
Yeah, this is true. Kev was saying, I feel like Sharon has the spirit of Robert Jordan helping her out because the detail and depth she goes into the costume is just incredible. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
I
I love
rightfully
that
so-
she's embraced it too. Like she's
Yeah.
pulled them out from the text and really wanting to like bring them to life.
Yeah, and shout out to Sharon for not just saying like, "Oh yeah, I did this." Like Sharon always, as you can see in the post here, tags everyone who was involved in the creation.
Absolutely.
Always talks about the team that puts everything together. Shares that has some of them on with her when she does the videos that she does. She's very much a case of like, this is a team effort. I'm just the one, at the top, making sure it all comes together. Yes, she has input. Yes, she has probably heavy levels of input, but she's not like, it's not her doing it with minions, just doing the stitching. Like there's a lot of involvement all the way down and a lot of effort by a lot of people. So,
well, it would have to be hundreds of them on that team, right?
Oh yeah. I remember there was the picture she shared, and it like filled a gallery of people.
Yeah,
This is my team. This was just the team in Prague or something.
It was like what's the word? Where you're on the side of a building and you've got the.
It was like
Scaffolding. Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
Words hard. It was, and I'm sure that wasn't even everybody, because that was just the people who were working in Prague, and I'm sure they were filming other places as well. So
yeah. Do you think that's
Prague.
justice in his hand?
I would say so. It has to be.
It has to be.
Yeah, I'm looking. So I've still got the still up from the episodes, and I'm looking at a small bit of design that's on the red skirt that we see flaring in this butt photo, and it gives me. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that design on the back, that kind of gives me like Richard the Lionheart vibes. It's not his logo or anything like that, but like the gold on red.
For sure.
Red and red material very much gives me that, but the outfit doesn't give me, that period of time of English kings. It's like she's taken like the majesty of what they wore without making it feel like a copy of them, which I think is.
She's always in everything that she does, and even in the articles that she's written or given interviews for, she oversimplifies the complication of the layers and the depths of the pieces that she pulls to. And if we can make it to the Shan-Chan section tonight, I did include some of the inspirations that I know that she's talked about on Instagram and has messaged with people about. So that being said, so Rob totally agreed that she incorporates multiple facets from history, from art, from just like things that exist in the world. She pulls all that stuff in. So let's go ahead and just quickly bounce.
Can I just say one small thing? Look at the detail on the back of his helmet.
Feathers again.
Yeah. It feels like feathers are like coming off the bottom of the helmet. There's like something etched into it. God, I wish we could zoom in and out on these.
I know.
Yeah. Also down in the Shan-Chan section, I did include.
I'm gonna have to DM Sharon and be like, "Hey Sharon, can we get like copies of these pictures so we can zoom in and out?"
Right. Down in the Shan-Chan section that we have. So again, like might not get to it tonight, but I've started a spreadsheet so we've got everything categorized. One thing that I pulled out because I thought Mel would especially be interested in is the Shan-Chan helmets are 3D printed, and I think that is probably not the only instance where they 3D print things. So I kind of knowing that this is a technology that they're using now, it really makes me look at how they're doing costuming differently. So how much of this armor is 3D printed now? So it's a very interesting, like if we can ever get Sharon on the show, be like, okay, how much? How much 3D print?
You mean when, Leigh-A? When?
When? Yes, when.
When?
All right, let's move to the next character because I think I've held up conversation enough.
Yes. Do you want to go into these miscellaneous pics or no?
Yeah, so these miscellaneous ones are the VFX photos of the random, she doesn't even put the names of the people in. And so just as we and they're just one shots, photos, so there's not too much to look at. But I've recently, just today, finished Crown of Swords. But in Crown of Swords, Matt, when he finally figures out who Brigitte is, has a flashback and talks about some of the characters. So I wanted to read that passage real quick. There was no hope with the Shan-Chan to the west and White Cloaks to the east. No hope and only one chance. So he raised the curled horn and blew, not really knowing what to expect. The sound came golden as the horn, so sweet he did not know whether to laugh or cry. It echoed, and the earth and heaven seemed to sing, while that one pure note hung in the air. A fog began to rise, appearing from nowhere. Thin wisps, thickening, billowing higher until all was obscured as if clouds covered the land. And down the clouds they rode, as though down a mountainside, the dead heroes of legend, bound to be called back by the Horn of Valir. Archer Hawkwing himself led, a tall and hook-nosed, and behind came the rest, little more than 100. So few, but all those the wheel would spin out again and again to guide the pattern, to make legend and myth. Mikkel of the Pure Heart, and Shavan the Hunter, behind his black mask. He was said to herald the end of ages, the destruction of what had been, and the birth of what was to be. He and his sister Callian, called the Chooser, who wore red masked, who rode red masked at his side. Amarasu, with the sword of the sun glowing in her hand, and Pedric, the golden-tongued peacemaker, and there carrying a silver bow, which she never missed. So I just thought it was fun that I just happened upon this passage as we were getting ready to have this conversation. So like with all these miscellaneous hunters of the horn. And I wasn't paying attention, so I don't know how many you like flipped through.
I pulled them all up.
Yeah. Mel's been
and I just kind of scrolled through them while you were talking. They're really interesting. Was there any, Rob, that you particularly wanted to look at?
No, I wanted to talk about the cameras a little bit. So
it's really interesting.
This is
that's a lot of cameras.
I'm not an expert on this, by the way, folks. So this is just base level looking at stuff, and I'm sure someone can give me more detail. But this is kind of sort of almost based. Does everyone remember? It's called bullet time. Does everyone remember The Matrix when it first came out, and the whole camera is zooming around Neo as he does his backwards thing, falling thing? So that was achieved, if you've ever seen it, by a selection of cameras that was set up in that motion that the camera takes, and they all take a still of, in this case, Keanu, as he was doing that action, so that the stills can then be played the same way that stills, as they're recorded, are played to make motion, and instead the camera moved. This is kind of like the genesis from that now, because you can just take like 1,000 pictures, so people can move. And you can record this from all the angles, and that's how you can do like 3D imaging and stuff like that. Then also you can take stills with this, and then you capture everything completely around. But yeah, that's why there's so many cameras, folks, because then you can literally make this into just 3D, CG graphics, and then play with it. And that's how you can get smoke of people appearing, disappearing, and stuff like that.
There's a lot of really interesting approaches to 3D scanning a person. One of the options is kind of similar to this, except they basically build a booth and put a person on a turntable, and then the turntable just like almost like in the airport when you're going through security and it's got that scanny thing, and it just like swoops around, and instead of having cameras everywhere, it's only got like one wall of cameras, and they turn the person on the turntable, and they can do a really quick 3D scan of a person and get some crazy rendering. We have this bananas 3D scanner where it actually has to triangulate itself using like stickers basically. So you have to like put stickers all over an object, and it has to see 3 stickers in order for it to do a 3D scan of an existing thing. And it can get down to like a 1 micron level of resolution, but you have to like purposely place stickers all over the entire thing you're scanning, and then you basically take a camera with like a laser on it, and the laser basically reads the distance between it and all of the stickers, and then does the mathematical algorithm to build that 3D model up from that. And then you can just like hold the camera in your hand and zoom around the stickered thing. It's really fascinating. Cool. Like there's so many different approaches to 3D scanning.
Yeah, I mean that's why they people are like in the Marvel movies, you see the behind the scenes, and people like Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr. and things like that are wearing costumes with dots all over them. Because the dots work in the same principle as those stickers, then gives you all the 3D movement and stuff when they add all the CGI in. So
yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, because it like measures the distance, but it also measures the size that it sees the stickers are, and then it notes how far they are. It's like, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's really complex.
So this one is I imagine set up mostly for picture taking, so you get every angle and such, rather than like actual movement and stuff like that. But it probably assisted when they're all fighting, like on that.
Well, because they also they're not creating CGI out of this. They're layering on the visual effects. So these are to get the full capture of what the costume looks like. So, I'm sure that there's probably multiple positions that they have to stand in. That would be interesting to get feedback from people who are in the various VFX companies. There was a gentleman who did Andy Scrace, and I don't remember who did it was Screen Rant that he did an interview with, talking about some of the channeling stuff. So the Watt series has a great article about all the different companies that do all the various types of CGI visual effects for season 2. So it'd be interesting to know which company like really focused on some of this screen capture type technology for the Hunters of the Horn, and have them tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah,
The
it would
process.
be amazing.
Because I thought that was a beautifully done scene.
Yeah, I really dig the makeup on this one here, because it looks like, if you just glance at it, it looks like he's just like got some sort of light reflection on the face, but it's just done with makeup, which is really interesting.
Yeah, it's very, very.
And it showed like this could be. It makes me think of like Siberian or Mongolian type costuming. So I feel like the heroes were very much more cut and paste than some of the combinations of like the not quite prominent ones. So not Amarusu, not Hawkwing, not Brigida, not Uno, but a lot of the other ones are a little bit more cut and paste from cultures or historical eras that we could name from our real life.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. Let's move on.
So the next section, so we're getting out of the hunters, or it's not the hunters, the heroes for which people hunt. We're getting into my next section of things that I love about how Sharon does costuming, her philosophy of costuming, and it is upcycling and recycling. So
Love that.
Yes. So this is Moraine's, I believe. Yeah, Moraine's white blouse. And she found this in a store. And actually she goes into, I put this first because she talks about being ecologically cognizant that like recreating things from scratch is not always good. It's also time consuming, and you can get these amazing vintage things for not super expensive. And when we get to the Anver stuff, we'll show like she went and literally just in open air market went and got that. So she got this top. So she kind of cut and paste the top that she got from a vintage store and added some of the sleeves on, I believe it was, and added some applique flowers. Yeah. So just used something that was old and made it new. So, and that's a little bit of the reuse.
That's brilliant. That's amazing.
So, and then we can go to the next. So that's just a little bit about the moraine top that she used old stuff for. And then if we want
I
to
love
go,
how
go
like
ahead.
delicate and pretty that is. It's so nice.
It really is. And this is my favorite. So the Anver one, because she goes into a lot of description about where she got this, and you could tell that she loved this costume so much. So there's the concept art, but then if we keep clicking through, and
Wow.
there's two. Yeah, so there's two different things that she did here. So she's talking about, again, the French market, open air market that she got this at, which is called hold on, I'm gonna have to find it, scroll down. Oh, the Bolsterod. And I Googled that word. So basically it's literally like a secondhand market. And so that's what this picture and the one that looks like it has a bathing suit in it, that's literally where she's getting the some of these pieces from. Is she's just walking through these open air markets and buying vintage white lace for costumes.
Wow.
Yeah. And then that kimono she got from a company that reclaims kimonos and fixes them up and resells them. And she actually
That's
tags
cool.
the company. Yeah. So there's it's a lot of reuse of what she does. So it's not necessarily upcycling, which is upcycling is where you take a pair of jeans that's ripped up and you turn them into a bag or something like that. You are creating something new. So it's a combination of she's upcycling and recycling, or reusing, not recycling, reusing materials. And on Bear and Moraine, a lot of the Kyrianan stuff is for the main characters that we see in Kyrianan are these are environmentally friendly. I was going to say economic. It was probably also economically friendly. Like they don't have to spend hundreds of hours creating the detailed lace applique for this. So they just, somebody's already made it hundreds of years ago, 100, 150 years ago, 200 years ago. And
I mean, it's just mad to think that someone wore this, whenever it was, like you say, in the, this vintage piece, and then here it is turning up in, a global scale production on, a show that will be by the end of season 3. I've been saying this for years now. Will be by the end of season 3 a global phenomenon.
So
I've said this before, Mel. I'm not going into it, but I've said it. So
I'm not laughing. I'm agreeing.
For Anver, they use the bust part of the top, and then they added poofy sleeves in the cuffs.
Oh, okay.
So you can see the original there, and then what they're adding on to it.
That's so nuts. They're so talented. Wow.
Well, and just the vision as you're walking by something and being like, oh, I want this for a character in a show I'm creating costumes for. It's brilliant.
Love it.
Amazing.
Kevin has a question in chat.
Genuine. Oh, I think we both tried to put it up at the same time then. Genuine question: are all costume departments for shows this good? I've just never been aware. Just trying to gauge whether I've been under a butt rug or if this is truly as exceptional as it seems. That is a fair question, actually. My guts. Sorry,
go ahead. Go ahead, Rob. Sorry.
I was going to say my gut reaction is there's probably not as much upcycling as Sharon's putting into it. I would say for especially if it's not, she's looking for period pieces occasionally. She's looking for things that are, bring back other cultures from this world, but things like, say the Vikings TV show. Like, I imagine while there was a reasonable amount out there they could just purchase, that, was set up for like Ren fairs and things of that nature, they weren't using Viking artifacts in their outfits.
No.
I think there's something especially unique about the world of the Wheel of Time, because you have permission to be creative, but at the same time you can use inspiration from real cultures, because that's really what it is. So you don't have to come up with something completely from scratch, because it's embedded in the DNA of the piece. So we're getting like the best of both worlds. We're getting the best of like understanding rich costume history and like just like clothing history, and getting to do that. And you're not just doing a piece that's set in one time period where you're very restricted to something. You have the creative freedom to like grab all of human history of clothing and like integrate it in ways that you want because of the structure of the show. So I think it allows for so much like creative freedom, but you can also like use the inspiration of what's already there too.
Yeah.
Well, and Robert Jordan set the foundation of basing a lot of his cultures and the world in things that existed in our life. And I really hope in Livingston's next edition of the book that he goes into some of those inspirations. So as Sharon says in her article, that the Kyrian were based off of a combination of French and Japanese. And so
right.
like, and that's just the dress. And then there's other parts of the culture. Like there's multi-tiers of the culture. So that's how they dress. But then their food is like, if you read the passages in The Great Hunt, they're talking about the sweet and sour fish food. And that's very Chinese. So like, I really hope Livingston in his next edition of the book digs into some of those details, because I personally think those are fascinating. Like, where did he pull all of these dissections? And Robert Jordan literally just kind of grab-bagged. It was probably a lot more thoughtful than this, but grab-bagged and was like, here's their food, and here's their dress, and here's their, how their festivals, and and it's a mixed mash of everything, and it's brilliant, but you can see those nuances. And I think that does lend to the creativity of the set designers, the costume creators.
Yeah. There's it really lends itself to being able to just appreciate everything that humanity has created.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
Combine the best of it together.
And not being stuck in a box of, we have to do like somewhere between medieval and Renaissance style dress.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very true.
I can imagine that this is like any costumer's kind of like dream show. And I mean, you also have to give credit to the production for giving them the freedom. And the same thing happened in season 1. They kind of started this, right? They planted the seeds of this. We were looking at maps of where they mapped each culture to an existing human culture on Earth, and like what they started those maps and they started putting them together, and they're just like building and building and building on top of all of this work.
Yeah.
But I can see that there's just like and you can just like pull the best people doing the best things.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's so fun. It's really beautiful. And they really deserve to get a lot of recognition. So I hope your prediction comes true, Rob, because they they're really doing great stuff. But I would say, just like in general, back to Kevin's question, like I feel like costuming in general, there's so much that goes into it, and like costumers are so good at relating back how they're, regardless of the limitations of the period or whatever of the show that they're doing. There's always a lot of thought that goes into costuming.
Yeah. I remember the story about the Jon Snow, like his big fur cape, and somebody literally, like this came out afterwards. That
they went to IKEA and got the lamb's wool rug.
Yeah, well, somebody saw it on their floor and was like, "Oh my god, that would be perfect for his big overcoat thing." Yeah, and then went to IKEA and got the same thing.
Yeah.
So, but it was a thing that was on the floor, and they're like, "Oh, that would be so perfect."
Yeah.
Inspiration hit.
Wow.
Randomly.
Yeah. Very, very true.
Okay.
All right. We have just over 10 minutes or so. Let's talk Sean-Chan.
Yeah. Sean-Chan.
This will be really quickly, hopefully. Because as much as the Sean-Chan suck as a culture, their costuming is amazing. So, like, just Suroth just lounging beautifully. I love this, the boudoir scene, as Sharon calls it, where she deliberately muted the colors that the actors were wearing during the day. And you see a lot of pleating, a lot of much more delicate material. And it's just like, I want that dress so bad.
Can you imagine the maintenance on that dress? Oh my gosh.
Oh, and that is another thing. Like, a lot of these have pleats. So I think, that's a single one. So if we go to the next one, it is the picture. There's a couple of pictures that Sharon has of the fabrics.
Right. Yep. She does. I was distracted. This one.
And again, her being amazing. Yes. There's a couple of pictures, and Sharon just always loves to give credit to her staff. But talking about the various fabrics and the materials, and just you can tell how joyful she is in searching for and finding the perfect fabrics for these bold, beautiful costumes.
Yeah.
Does she talk at all about the choice to make the pleat motif a motif for the Sean-Chan?
She does. Yes, she does in the next couple of months. So the next, actually, let's skip the 3D printing and the Turok ones, because I feel like we could. Those are a couple of minutes, and go down to the inspiration one. So line 26, because we can always talk about. Turok has a couple. He has 3 videos that she did. So these are not pictures from Wheel of Time costumes, but these are of one of her designer inspiration, Iris van Haven. And she has 3 different sets. She dedicated 3 sets of Instagram posts to an installation that she went to in Paris, to this Iris van Haven display. And you can very much see a lot of the Sean-Chan. And I specifically commented, because it's not this one, it's another one. But I was just like, the first time I saw the first picture on one of her posts, I was like, I thought it was the Sean-Chan costume. And then flipping through, I was like, I don't remember seeing those. And I was like, oh, it's an installation. And she said that she did derive a lot of inspiration from, this is one of her favorite So, and you can see the folding and the pleating, that is very difficult. So you have to press and iron and constantly maintain that. There's ways to get fabric to eventually compress to do that. It is a very intensive technique. But you still have to continually maintain those lines. You have to get it dry cleaned. You have to maintain those lines. You can't just throw it in a washer machine.
Yeah.
So maintenance on these costumes, if they continually use them, would be quite extensive. If they got them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the thought behind that and what that means.
Oh.
She's like really playing into the excess.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like you just I'll just have some of my slaves just maintain the pleats.
Yeah.
No,
And you can
it's-
keep going through the Iris Van Hoffen, because there's 3 sets of those posts, and then another one I follow, the Metropolitan Museum Costume Institute. So this is still that installation. So you see the interesting, very structured. So you can almost see where Sharon's brain is starting to whirl a little bit, where she derives inspiration from.
I recognize whose shoes those turned into. Uh-huh. Look
The
at
fancy
that.
finger pieces, yeah.
Yeah.
Rob, it's your favorite.
Oh yeah, it is my favorite. Yeah.
Next.
Look, I'm still look. If when we get to meet Sophie, I'm definitely going to bring up Sophie. I love your acting. I can't bear the headpiece they put you in.
She doesn't get to pick what gets put on her head. Talk to Sharon.
I know. Yeah, I'll be like,
But
Sharon,
look at
it's beautiful, but I don't like it.
But look at this dress. Like you can see that there's these pleats that are done. They're very complicated and intricate, very geometric, and that is a lot of what she does with some of the Shan-Chan. What Sharon does with the Shan-Chan costumes.
Yeah.
Yeah, those look like the boudoir shoulders. For sure.
For sure.
Penny making a good point here. I bet Robert Jordan never considered the significance of how complicated pleats are to maintain.
I bet he did. Have you met Robert Jordan?
No, sadly.
Well, you know what I mean.
So, and this was the post where I was like, oh, this is more Shan-Chan stuff, right? And I was like, nope. It's because as you keep going through, it's like, wait, no, this is not Shan-Chan stuff. Like, that's not Shan-Chan.
I feel like it could be, though.
It could be. Or maybe something else. So, yeah, you just see very intricate, so detailed.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun to look at. Like the textures, the way it's sculpted. It's literally sculpted.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah. And then I think there's one more of the iris that so this is one
Met
that I
skeleton.
found. Yeah, so this is the one that I found because I follow the Metropolitan Institute of Costuming, and this is an Iris von Haven display that they had years ago, and it is made like sculpted like bones, and I was just like, this is the fucking Shan-Chan.
Yeah, that's insane.
They're meant to be like things that people could possibly wear as clothing, but it's more of it's haute couture, so it's like it's meant to be worn once, or meant to be a concept, so it's more of an art concept than an actual practical outfit. But it very much reminded me of where a lot of the Shan-Chan armor got kind of, you can see that being the basis of a Shan-Chan armor.
Absolutely. So, wow. And if Sharon hadn't posted these, you have no idea where she gets her inspiration from. Like, you know, that she goes to shows like this and takes pictures and be like, this is, you know, this is what inspires me to create what you've seen on the screen, and go, wow, that looks amazing. And then that's it for most people. They're like, oh, the costume's great. And then they carry on talking about the show. You know? Whereas Sharon and the team have spent many, many, many hours taking things like this that we've just been showing and making what we see on the screen for 30 seconds or a minute or a few minutes. Yeah.
Well, I guess one of the things I hope for some of, unfortunately, I hope that some of these beautiful pieces like get more screen time, right? Because there are some that we just like, we see for like a minute, a moment, right? And you don't even get a chance. Like, what did she said so many like, blink and you miss it. Here's this crazy thing we made and we spent months making, and it was on the screen briefly. There's got to be ways to fit those back in if the Shanshan still stick around, you know, for the next whatever.
Just thinking back to when we got to go through the sets in Prague, and we went through the costume bit, and Sharon just had like, there were mannequins all throughout, like it was like the novice quarter sector, and there was like mannequins everywhere with different outfits on. Obviously there was signage next to them, so Shanshan blood or this or that. Like even then, just walking through it didn't give you the impact that, you know, because Sharon could talk about details of things, but like there's limited time that she could talk to us, as by evidence of like Amazon being like, we need to wrap it up now, we're running late, you know, we
you guys got kicked out, didn't you?
We got, it was a combination of us keep asking things and Sharon really, really wanting to talk to us and share things with us. But yeah, it's just like, I wish there was some kind of, I hope one day that there becomes like some kind of, you know, like interactive set thing, tour, whatever, and there's like a whole section for Sharon shit, you know, because like the costuming section needs it's a tour it needs a tour by itself, you know. So someone should invite her to a convention and have her set up mannequins and models, and then just like talk through things, and bring her team with her. Like someone should do that.
Someone should
totally
do that.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then set up like a half day of just deep dive, like no other panels.
You just get a bus, we'll go to the studio, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then just real quick to wrap up, based off of what the Iris von Haven, again, this is just one singular inspiration that I think, because
Kevin
happened. Stop it. No, she's not an actor. She's not an actor. So that rule does not apply.
Thank you for bringing us full circle, Kevin. I appreciate what you did. That was a very good leap day joke. Good job.
That was brilliant. That was good. Good.
Jump kick.
But just so just gonna show the it's probably her most recent post that she's put, but it's the all-in photo, so like kind of tying everything in. So Guy Roberts, because All-in is Guy Roberts' wife, right? Like, I'm not messing this one up.
No, you're right. Although,
when you said nope, I was like, fuck, I got it wrong. Okay.
No, for some reason I thought it's like, Guy Roberts is her wife, and I realized what you said. Actually, no.
Yeah.
This is Jessica Boone.
Yeah, so you can see that like that enclosed like the bone structure, the bones almost. This is a faux reptile that is painted over with copper plating. I think she said, copper foil. And so that face mask would be 3D printed, but it's based off of that bone structure, like the carapace styled armor, or that we associate with the Shanshan, and you can just see a lot of the inspiration that comes. You can see the pleating that we've been talking about, and just all of that.
Yeah.
Like, it's as simple as this costume seems to be. It's exquisitely complicated.
Yeah.
And that's the genius behind this costume department. Is it does seem like a very, a simple jacket with a little bit of poofy sleeves and then a top with a little bit of pleating, but it is just like, it is, the details are immaculate, they are precise, and it is not easily executed. So
yeah,
it is,
I can believe that.
perfection.
Just admiring that for a second. I can't, it just needs to be done. Yeah, it's just, the detail is amazing. The effort is incredible. I remember asking Sharon if there was an outfit that she was really excited for us to see, and she couldn't answer at the time. But having just done this discussion, I know now that what she wanted to tell us was like, I can't wait for you to see all the Hero of the Horde outfits.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, something late in the season that I can't mention because of spoilers. And
Yeah.
it's got to be that, because it's just, incredible.
No, it's got to be Matt dressed in his fancy lord outfit. That's got to be the thing. That's no, I know it's
I
not.
will say her write-up of the Archer Hawkwing costume, like, you could tell that she was very cognizant of the fandom and what they would think of that costume. She didn't she's never written that in her write-up about any of the other costumes. So it's almost like they made that costume for the fans.
Yeah. Well, it's like, she was told that he is a fan favorite. So they put extra effort into it. But she's aware of the things we say, like the reactions to things. Like, she wanted to point out to us that there was a chain connecting the collar and the bracelet for the Soldan. Like, she made the point of that to say, I'm aware there's been some discourse about this. Like, it's only taken out because of costing when they're doing their movements and stuff. It just wouldn't be possible. So like they changed it, but there is a physical, link, the chain that you will see later on in later episodes type thing. So she pays attention to the things we say, folks, which says maybe she's seen me talk about Swan's headpiece.
You're allowed to not like things. You're not disrespectful in the way, like, it's just not your personal favorite thing that and it's not just Swan's headpiece, like, you just don't like the headpieces in general. So
I love Kobe's now heard what I've said and gone, does that include the chatter about the Trollocs? I don't think Sharon designs the Trolloc outfits.
No, Sharon does not. She does clothing, not
nipples.
not nipples.
So Trollocs are a different department?
Probably.
Interesting.
I would guess, yes. I wonder if that's all part of the prosthetics department.
I would probably guess it might be.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this has been great. I love the Sharon appreciation. I don't think anyone else really, like, people talk about it. Is it Lesbian Nerdy does some costuming things, but it's more like what it indicates for the show as opposed to the actual costumes themselves, isn't it? So I don't know. Does anyone else?
They go through character by character, and they're like 20-minute bits. It's her, Pez, and Bree, and they have great insight. Pez has studied costumes, and is a costume professional. So, like, she has interesting insights on, like, what eras they might be from, like, possible inspirations. But it doesn't like do the source material from what Sharon said. Like, it's a very different type of conversation about the costumes, but still, like, appreciating how they're made. They're fun videos, and again, 20 minutes, fun, short.
I wasn't trying to knock it. I was just saying, like, they definitely go for, like, what it means for the show angle. Like,
it's
I don't know anyone else who actually goes like, look at what Sharon does, Sharon and her team, and so on and so forth.
Well, she deserves all the appreciation and more.
They
It's
all do,
just
the entire
there.
team. Yeah, all
So-
several hundred of them.
Very, very true.
So, and we still have so many line items on the spreadsheet, but that'll have to wait till another day.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Leigh-A, for building
Yeah.
this out. Oh man, it's been so cool to do these deep dives with you.
Yeah, I do love it. It's yeah, it's just.
I
it's
would
great.
love it
Now
if we had like set designers and prop makers and stuff doing this kind of like level of sharing that we could then nerd out on too for
Yes.
every department, because oh man, there's so much beautiful work done on
Yes.
this
That was
show.
one really frustrating thing. I was trying to find some more information about the VFX, just any VFX for season 2. There was a lot of really bad analysis of season 1. There was a couple of the companies that participated in season 2 that had, but they were really short articles. And it was just more like still frame pictures and like 1 or 2 paragraph blurbs about different types of things that they did. So there wasn't a lot. We don't have a lot of material out there yet.
Fingers crossed. So, all right. I think that's a good place to wrap it up. Leigh-A, thank you, like Mel said, for teaching us all this costume stuff.
Thank
and
you.
helping us appreciate the work that Sharon and the team are putting into the show that we all love. I think that's it. So yeah, we will see you next week. Who knows what chaos we'll get up to? I might be fully constructed by then. You never know. I'm sure that Bain&Chiad will be enlightening us with some of her fast riding stories. I hear she's out doing some taste testing of a particular beverage. But yeah, until next time, folks, I think we're going to call that a wrap. And may you always find love, water, and shade. Bye.
Bye.